So if you are thinking about studying psychology at university, then having established what psychology is as a discipline, you should start to explore the different ways that universities go about delivering psychology degree programs. One of the first things to be aware of is accreditation. The British Psychological Society regulate the content of psychology degrees, and they confer accreditation to degree programs that meet their requirements. If you do an accredited degree, you are then eligible for what is called Graduate Basis for Registration of the BPS. This means you are eligible to apply for further accredited postgraduate training programs and to apply to become a chartered psychologist. Being a chartered psychologist is important for some career options, but not all. The BPS website provides lots of detail about this, so take a look here if you need to know more. Not all psychology degree programs are accredited. This does not mean that they are inadequate in any way, but they may limit your options after graduation. Both single and joint honours programs are available, so you can study just psychology or combine it with another subject such as management studies, sociology or philosophy. Most are 3 years full-time. In the top universities, core psychology topics are always flavoured by research-led teaching. This means that you will be taught psychology by psychologists currently working in those areas and who are enthusiastic and experienced in that field. So it is important that you do your homework about universities that you might be interested in. Check out their web pages in the first instance and pay attention to their research areas. For example, you might find more of a leaning towards social psychology or biological psychology in some departments more than others. Here at Leeds, our research interests span behavioural neuroscience, human nutrition, cognitive psychology, health psychology and social psychology. Our website gives details of which staff work in these areas, what research they're currently doing, what work they've published in these fields and who funds their research. So it gives lots of information about the areas of psychology that we mostly engage in. I'm speaking very generally here about how psychology is taught at university, because whilst there are some similarities across universities, every psychology degree will have some unique components. Most teach over 2 semesters, with about 4 modules in each semester. In Level 1 or first year, typical modules would include introductory level cognitive psychology, biological psychology, social psychology, developmental psychology. There would be some coverage of key theories and methods, and also research skills. Students would typically have an hour's lecture per week on each of these modules, and they would then be expected to do at least 6 hours of reading following each lecture, based on a recommended list. Independent study is at the core of university life and needs to be driven by a questioning and inquisitive frame of mind. Given that most psychology degree programs will emphasise the importance of good research in psychology, there may be significant attention to research skills training. Research skills might be taught in lecture form and then practical classes. Core to research in psychology is statistics, and therefore it is also core to any undergraduate psychology degree programme. Statistics allow researchers to say whether differences between people or groups of people on any given behaviour are statistically different. That is, more than just chance variation. So undergraduate students are taught in a very accessible way about doing statistics in psychology, and students are expected to use statistics as part of their research training. Even if you've not done A-level maths, students cope well with statistics in psychology as long as they keep up with their work. In Year 2 of a psychology degree, you would encounter more advanced subjects such as psychological disorders, neuroscience, advanced social psychology, memory and language, psychobiology, drugs and hormones, cultural psychology, and of course research skills again. Typically in Year 2, students engage more with larger research projects to develop their research skills and to improve at writing up psychological reports. The final year of a psychology degree usually allows students to choose specialist modules from a broad range. The available modules typically reflect the research strengths of a department. For example, final year students at Leeds can choose 6 modules from the following list. In addition, all final year students conduct a piece of independent research under supervision and produce a dissertation. Students tend to really enjoy this aspect of their degree as it allows them to follow an area they are interested in and put into practice all of the research training they have received so far. Methods of assessment vary according to the topic and year in a degree, but they typically include multiple choice questions, essays, research reports, seen and unseen examinations, and presentations. Students who do the very best at university are those who go to lectures, do the reading, think about the material they are encountering, ask questions about it, and know how they are going to be assessed. Having considered what psychology is, how it is taught, you might be in a better position to say whether you think psychology is the right degree programme for you. To help you even further, here are some questions you can ask about yourself. You would make a good psychology student if you can be inquisitive and open-minded. Think scientifically. Appreciate the importance of rigorous research. Read a substantial amount of information, digest it and evaluate it. Tolerate multiple explanations, partial explanations and competing explanations for behaviour. Be confident with numbers, statistics and notions of probability. Work independently and with others. And finally, to think in an integrated manner about the determinants of human behaviour. The question of what you can do with a psychology degree is both easy and difficult to answer. This is because there are lots of really good opportunities open to people who have studied psychology. At the moment, psychology graduates are highly employable. Along with people with a degree in geography, they are the most employable of all graduates in the UK. This is likely to be the case because students who do a degree in psychology develop a range of very useful and valued skills. For example, after a degree in psychology, along with having a sound knowledge of psychology, you will be good at data handling, information retrieval, research design and statistics, project management, ethical decision-making, creative thinking and resourcefulness, working in a range of contexts. Some psychology graduates choose to be a professional psychologist of some sort, and this requires further postgraduate training. For example, to become a clinical psychologist, an occupational psychologist, educational psychologist, sports, forensic or counselling psychologist, you would need to do a further 1 to 3 years of postgraduate study. These are demanding but rewarding careers, and these kinds of jobs will involve everyday use of your psychological knowledge and research expertise. However, not every psychology graduate goes into these fields. Some go into advertising, marketing, teaching, recruitment consultancy, social and healthcare, research administration, human resources, prison service, or mental health services. To apply to a British university to study psychology, you will need to report your predicted grades and your current AS grades if known. You'll also need to provide a personal statement. Most of the best universities will require at least one science subject at A-level and a good set of maths and science GCSE grades. For example, here at the University of Leeds, our entry requirements at A-level are AAB, and these must include psychology, geography, maths, chemistry, biology or physics. At GCSE, we require a grade C in English, a grade B in maths, and 2 Bs in science subjects. It is worth exploring what widening participation routes there might also be available to you if you do not meet these criteria. Widening participation routes might offer places on psychology programmes on reduced grades. Many admissions procedures will look very carefully at your predicted grades and may make you an offer of a place conditional on achieving those grades. With regards to your personal statement, you may already have received some good guidance from your school on how best to complete this, so my following points here should be considered alongside that guidance. Try to start your personal statement by defining psychology, showing that you understand it as a science subject and that you know it is broad-ranging. You should also show how your current A-levels might prepare you well for studying the subject, but you don't need to make links where there are none. You should also show how any extracurricular activity equips you well for study at university and for psychology in particular. You should definitely show your enthusiasm for psychology and your aspirations to be an excellent student. You should project confidence, commitment and a real excitement about being an engaged and motivated university student. So, psychology is an exciting, challenging, science-based subject with many diverse and rewarding career opportunities. I hope you found this podcast helpful and very best wishes for success in your studies. If you'd like to find out more about psychology at Leeds, please visit our website at the following address.